It's car con carne. Let's eat in the car. It's car con carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
This right here is Car Con Carne. It's a Q101 podcast. I'm James Van Alstyne, and Car Con Carne is presented by Easy Automation, easy-automation.net. Transform your living space with cutting-edge home automation. Experience seamless control over audio, video, lighting, climate, security, and more. Everything, basically. Embrace the future of smart living. Treat yourself for the holidays. Do you do that thing when you go holiday shopping? One for them, one for me. Treat yourself to a smart home this holiday season. Find out how easy it is by getting a quote, hassle-free. Talk to my guy Dan. His phone number is on the screen if you're watching the video, 630-730-3728, or simply go to easy-automation.net. So as I'm recording this and as I'm getting ready to publish this, it is mid-December, and Car Con Carne is nominated for Best Music Podcast in Chicago in the Chicago Reader's Best of Chicago survey. It's a high honor to just be nominated, of course. I would love your support to win. I put a lot of effort into Car Con Carne, talk to dozens and dozens of musicians every year. In fact, if you follow Car Con Carne on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, you'll see recaps month by month of all the guests, literally all the guests who've been on Car Con Carne in 2024. Watch those, or if you don't need to, just go straight to the Chicago Reader site and vote Car Con Carne Best Music Podcast in their Best of Chicago survey. Thank you for your support. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. So it's holiday time, and I am returning to a favorite of mine. I'm at Blue Island Beer Company, 13357 Old Western Avenue in Blue Island. Sitting next to me, whether you're watching or listening, he is sitting right next to me. That is John E. Streetz, head of the Streetz Artz Alliance, the man who puts on these incredible markets, vendor fairs. We call them markets?
I would call it a craft show / artisan market for sure.
All over. As I do this podcast, John, across the suburbs especially, it never fails. If I go to the bathroom at a craft brewery, which I usually have to do, I see your flyers. Like, the first thing I notice when I go to the bathroom is, oh, there's another Streetz Alliance show coming soon. Every brewery I walk into.
I am crazy about the advertisements that I do. I give posters out to all the breweries so they can post them everywhere. And actually, the bathroom is one of the best places to post posters.
It made a market. Last time I was at Flipside, I'm like, oh, they're coming to Flipside again.
Oh, yeah?
And you're coming to Flipside again.
Yep.
So we're at Blue Island. Obviously, if people are listening or watching, we're too late. But I do want to talk about what I'm experiencing at Blue Island Beer Company. It's the Krampus Market, just in time for the holidays, which I know you do a lot of general markets. This is a very specific, almost goth Christmas thing going on.
Very, very much so. I've been doing this at Blue Island for years now, and the last 3 years I've had an actual cosplayer, Krampus, walk around and greet customers. There's going to be picture opportunities with her, but this particular market is probably one of the best markets I run all year round, because all the Blue Island locals come out, people from the nearby towns. They love that little bit of dark, macabre artwork, and they love some of the Christmassy holiday stuff. So,
this is right up my alley. Like, I'm walking through the aisles. And by the way, great space for this.
Oh, I agree. His way back room, that little venue back there, is just great for this kind of event.
But I'm walking vendor by vendor. I'm like, okay, I was frustrated because I got here too early to set up for the podcast. I'm like, oh, I can't approach the vendors and buy shit yet. But I got it. By the time we're done, I'll be able to start spending some of my hard-earned money.
I appreciate that in advance. This is all about the small businesses for me. Being able to support breweries like Blue Island Beer Company, being able to support all the unique artists that I have in the event, that is what it's about for me. I'm not looking to make a bunch of money. I'm looking to support those small businesses.
So why craft shows? Like, how did this all start?
That's a great question. So I've been running craft shows for probably 10, 12 years. I started off as a perler bead artist back in the day.
Which means what?
Perler beads are these little beads you can put on a pegboard, and then you iron them with a piece of wax paper between the iron and the beads. Think of Mario Brothers or Tetris or, any of those Nintendo games back in the day. I
think about them all the time.
Oh, yeah. So I make little caricatures out of those. Like Mega Man, for instance, is a very popular one that I do. I sold those at craft shows, and then I started finding breweries as a great place to sell those at. So I was reaching out to every brewery, hey, can I pop up It wasn't until Metal Monkey Brewing, unfortunately they're not around anymore, but they gave me an opportunity to host a market for the first time. And I jumped on it with my friend Stephanie Wheatley, and that was kind of the start of me running shows. Fast forward 5 or 6 years, then I created the Streetz Artz Alliance, which is a group of 350 local Chicago area artists that primarily do my show.
No shortage of artists, crafts, anything in the city and suburbs.
Agreed. And I'm super lucky to have the high quality artists that I have here today and every other show. And I curate these. I hate going to smaller shows that just have 20 candle vendors. And while I appreciate they're supporting small businesses, it's not great for patrons to check out. So when I curate a show, minimal overlap, you're going to have a bunch of unique stuff. I like to mix artists with candles, with perler bead artists, and every kind of artist you can find from every craft, whether it's woodwork or resin. So I just think that's important to have variety for the patrons.
This is something I go back to time and again on this podcast, John, is the need for curation. It's everything from putting together a podcast to putting together a beer menu to creating a craft fair.
I couldn't agree more. And it's I get a lot of love from patrons because they love being able to come to this show and not have all that overlap and really find some new, unique things. That's one of the other things I kind of push my artists to do. Make some new stuff, promote yourself, try some new things. And that happens constantly. And the breweries keep inviting me back, and I'm very thankful the patrons keep coming out to support the markets.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are like me walking into these. I come in to spend money. So when you talk about curation and making sure that, there's not necessarily competing product, like it's just an embarrassment of riches. Like, I'm coming here to spend money, and you're making it so that I have no choice but to spend money.
I try to make it easy for you.
I'm telling you, like there are a couple. I said this before we started recording. There are a couple I have my eye on. Like I've already planted my flag.
Good. Well, I thank you in advance for your support of that. I do want to make note, Alan with Blue Island Beer Company, he was one of the people that kind of pushed me to really but basically do a lot more craft shows. One of the original breweries I started working with beyond Metal Monkey was Blue Island Beer Company, so I hosted several markets inside, outside. He was definitely one of the supportive people that helped me really get this to where I'm at right now, so I have to thank Alan.
Alan's just a good dude. In fact, we had our man hug the second I walked in the door. Like, I always feel welcome coming into this brewery. Okay, so how often are you doing this? Is 365? You're doing these year round?
Year round. Last year I did 64 shows over the course of the year.
Now, if you're keeping track, there are only 52 weeks in a year, so that's
I would double up. This year I actually brought on a couple members from my group, like Alyssa Harris and Paula Krizik. They're actually curators for me. And they go and do other shows. That way I could minimize it down to like 32 or 33 shows. Try to keep my sanity while I'm running this many markets. Yesterday I was at Soundgrowler Brewing in Tinley Park for their Yuletide Bazaar. Today's the Krampus Market at Blue Island Beer Company. Next weekend we have 2 shows.
Church Street on Saturday.
Church Street on Saturday, and that's actually one that Alyssa Harris is running.
So that's the 14th. If you're listening or watching, that's Saturday the 14th, the Winter Craft Market at Church Street in Itasca.
Correct. And I'll actually be popping up there as my perler bead persona known as Bead Streets. And then on Sunday, I'll be at Flipside Brewing for their Bazaar. It's a very small space at Flipside, but we managed to fit about 13 artists in there, each with like a little tiny 3-foot table.
It's like a game of Tetris.
A little bit, but it works. People love to eat the burgers, drink the beer, and do a little shopping.
I'm telling you, the food and drink there, I just love their straight-up lager, and Eric, of course, returning guest on this show, love him to death.
Oh, yeah. They've got some great smash burgers, too.
So they do the monthly thing, and I don't live close to Tinley Park, so I need to make a special trip out there, and then I'll see Eric post something like, here's the burger of the month. I'm like, shit, okay, I got to figure this out.
I always go for the burger of the month. One of the things I used to love about Kuma's Corner is they had a specialty burger every month. Those are big, thick patties. He's got the smaller, smash burger, and he does it up right every month. So I'm actually excited next Sunday to try one of those, his monthly burger. I don't even remember what it is, but I want to try it.
So going back to curation, the vendors here today seem like there might be a little more of an edge to them.
When you say edge, do you mean just maybe a little punky or a little bit wild or a little different?
It's not quite the paper quilling displays that I remember walking through in the north suburbs in my childhood.
Very much so. I think it's important to get those edgier artists. Edgy probably wouldn't be the term I use, but I would just say a little wilder, a little something you're not going to see at a church or a school show. And like Just Crafting Around, Ashley, she's got Audrey plants. I don't know how she makes them, but she's got Audrey plants and like the tentacles from Beetlejuice as potted plants, which I think that's ingenious. And you won't find that at any other show except for like maybe an oddities market or a Streetz Artz Alliance market.
So when you set or agree to do an event at a place like Blue Island Beer Company, Flipside, etc., do the breweries collaborate at all, or are they just like, okay, good, you do what you do, come on in? So
it is a bit of a challenge to get dates on the calendar. This year I've been trying to do it a month or two in advance. There's some collaboration. I'm a big networker, and I would love to see all the breweries that I work with do collaborations with each other. Mm-hmm. But right now I haven't done anything of that sorts, but I'd be open to it for next year. Maybe do like occupy 3 breweries nearby, have artists in every single one, and do like a trolley or a crawl. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Thank you.
Brilliant. So I love this, and I said this to you before we started recording. I say this all the time. Craft breweries in general, I love supporting because they are so neighborhood focused, so community focused, and the hustle to me is so similar to what independent artists in general experience, do, navigate. So something like this with independent literal artists at a craft brewery like this is right in the pocket of the stuff I love and want to support. I love what you're doing.
Well, I appreciate that, James, and I appreciate your support of this market and letting me come on. This is a great opportunity.
Okay, so to keep up on what's going on with Streetz Artz Alliance, there are a couple Z's there. Sometimes I say it too quickly. Where should people go? Like, what's the website? Where's the calendar?
So I have a page on Facebook, Streetz Artz Alliance. That's street with a Z, art with a Z, and then alliance spelled normally. If you just search that in the bar, you'll find my group. You can't miss it. I've got like an 8-bit sunglasses and mustache logo that I use for most. I'm bummed I didn't wear my hoodie in here, but it was just so warm today.
I know, it's so warm today. It's like 52 degrees, which after the week we had, it doesn't even feel right.
I agree. I did a show at Moore Brewing in Villa Park last weekend.
I was there.
Oh, you were?
I was there. In fact, okay. I should have told you I was going to pop by. I was on my way back. I went to the record show at Two Brothers Roundhouse in Aurora, and I'm like, well, Villa Park's kind of on my way back. It was so fucking cold outside.
Oh.
I didn't even look for you. I went up and down, and all these poor vendors were outside. I bought myself a 4-pack of Kolsch from Moore, and I jumped back in the car. Forgive me for not saying hi. It was brutal.
Of all the shows I ran this year, I felt the worst about that. I thought, okay, if there's Chris Kringle Market and these people put on all their coats and their gloves and bundle up and go drink some hot wine, why won't they come to Villa Park and do the same thing? I was wrong. I was so wrong. And I beat myself up over it. My artists were like, we all agreed to do this. Uh-huh. We tried it too. Everyone had their own little space heater. But it was miserable. Well, thank you for coming out.
Sure.
Either way,
Yeah, I didn't even want to say anything because I was in and out like a thief in the night. Like but I was there, and sometimes they hit, sometimes they don't. That's the life of being an independent business person or artist.
Agreed.
All right, so happy holidays to you. I love this. So with all the stuff you do in the burbs, do you stretch out to the city?
No.
Is that intentional or just the nature of?
I would say it's intentional. The city is its own monster, and there's lots of other curators doing shows in the city. There's just a lot of kind of hurdles you have to get through. Okay. There's permits required, and every single artist has to be licensed. The organizer has to be licensed through the city. I don't know all the current rules for that, but I just know it's. I'd rather stay in the suburbs where usually I don't have to, pull any permits to do an inside show. But who knows? Maybe next year I'll give my try at a few, and I would
because you're not busy enough.
Oh, you're being facetious.
I am.
Maybe I could have one of my artists that I specialize in taking care of Chicago shows. Have them take over a few. I would love the opportunity, but me personally, no. But any one of my curators, yes.
And the reason why I ask, it just seems like this model can only grow.
I would say yes.
John, thank you. I go run your business, go run your event. I'm so glad we finally got to meet.
I agree, James. Thank you.